The winters here in eastern Idaho are pretty brutal, so even though I ride all winter long, I usually have to put bike travel on hold for a few months. As soon as the snow broke this year, though, I was ready to get out and ride. My goal was to ride to a warming hut just outside of town in the National Forest. That meant I was going to have to take the Stache, and since I don't have the right bags for the Stache yet, that meant taking a mix of backpacking gear and touring stuff. Bringing a 0 degree this time of year. Thermarest pack. Well, I ended up changing packs and sleeping bags, but I'm thinking this should work. So just checking the maps right now and seeing how far about it's going to be, and then checking the weather and seeing, of course, just making sure, see what the wind's going to be like, and see what the temperature is going to be like at night. See if we can get a better idea of what we need. But I think we're about ready to go, so it should be awesome. I convinced Byron to come along too, and since he only has race bikes, we checked out a Dragonslayer with plus-size tires. I grabbed the Stache, and we headed off. Unfortunately, Byron was having some heel clearance issues with the panniers I lent him. So we rode out and went back to the bike shop to fix up his bike and grab his headlights. We also got to check out this beauty while we were there. Nothing like a distraction. As usual, all bike travel starts uphill. This never fails. We cruised out on the farm roads and settled in for a long road ride on the big bikes. For every swooping downhill like this, 27 miles an hour-ish. There's a long slog uphill like this. And yes, we checked out the sights, mostly snow and farm equipment. Before long, the roads began to get covered in snow and ice, which wasn't such a big deal at that point in the day. But it sure made for some interesting riding early on. Never really a good idea to look around while you're riding on ice. Finally, we got to the actual off-road portion of the bikepacking trip, where we found the dirt to be extremely soft, not too much of a problem. We found patches of snow that turned into more snow. Seemed rideable enough though, and sometimes we'd even go across dry stretches like this, which boosted our confidence quite a bit. Before you knew it though, we were hike-a-biking through snow that seemed to be getting deeper and deeper. Byron was the voice of reason, but I contested that we move on just a little farther, until we passed where even side-by-sides had gone. At this point, I was ready to keep going, but Byron, well, he was a little bit smarter than I was. We did the math and figured out it would be about 2 hours to do the 2 miles that was left to the cabin, and then of course we'd have to do that again in the morning, and since I had to work the next morning, that probably wasn't the best situation to be in. Not to mention, we had no idea whether or not the cabin was even habitable. There might be a grizzly bear in it for all we knew. So after some debate, we decided to go back down. It's a hard decision to turn back from a ride, but, you know, that's the way it is. The winter here is awfully serious, and you can only take so many risks. So between the downhill snow runs and more hike-a-biking, we finally got back to the pavement. Or sort of. After only 2 miles of slugging through the mud and snow, I already needed to change my socks. So once I had the 2 pairs on, and became amused by the blinking axiom symbol there, seriously, why is it blinking? Anyways, put on a new sweater. We were actually getting pretty cold. The temperatures like to plummet after dark, you know, it's just one of those things. And we set off. To be honest, it wasn't really eventful. Between the plummeting temperatures and the thunderstorm that occurred during the last 2 or 3 miles of the trip, it wasn't too bad. Luckily, it's downhill and mostly with a tailwind. So sure, we did the entire trip in one go and came home early. But the whole point of bike travel is to have fun and seek adventure. And we definitely did that.